everyone doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Here in Ohio, it is cold and there's some snow blowing. I've seen a lot of people saying it's freezing and snowy. Sharon in Cleveland, you're getting that too, huh? We've got Lydia in Washington. Hi, Cindy in South Carolina. Good to see you all. Chilly, Alaska. Oh, man. We got nothing to complain about in Ohio, right? Awesome. Okay. Well, it's good to see you all hopping in here today. Happy New Year. And I feel like it's January 8th, but it feels like New Year's was so long ago already because we've got a lot of fun things that we're working on here at Hoop Sisters. Am I right?
We do. Exciting stuff coming up.
Yeah, we're excited. And we're excited to be here today because we've been talking about hugs and kisses and getting you guys registered for this one for a little while now. So we're very excited that today's the day that we get to show everything, open ordering, all the things. So yes, Barb, and hi, Harry and Barb. We agree. Big prayers for the entire USA with all this weather that's going on here in the States. It's kind of past us, but I know you guys are in Pennsylvania and you've been
hit. They have.
Hi from Louisiana. Hi, Pam.
I always like to read the comments as they come in because everyone's telling us how cold it is, and I saw someone said it was -9.
Ugh.
So that's we're warm compared to you.
I feel like it's like 23 here and I'm cold. All right, welcome. Well, let's get everyone in here and situated. We're super excited, like we said, to be here today. But I want to introduce you to my sister.
Hi,
this is Sarah Congdon.
Yep, I'm a designer and digitizer here at Hoop Sisters. So I get to have a third of the fun. Annie and Linda have the other 2/3, and we just put this one to work.
I get 100% of the fun because I am always here for workshops. I can't get enough of it. I love coming here.
They are so fun.
In fact, we ordered pizza here in the office today, and then we had like 2 hours to wait before the live, and I'm like, let's just do it already. Come on.
We do have a lot of fun on these. We hope you guys do too.
Yes. So welcome in. So let's start here. If you are new and you have never been on a Hoop Sisters live, or maybe you've been on one or two and you're still trying to figure out what the heck is going on around here, drop me a number 1 in the comments. I want to see who is new. We have so much that you are going to learn today. If you're dropping a number 1 in the comments, I guarantee you're going to learn a few things over the course of our 2 days together starting now. Hi, number 1. It's good to see you.
And thanks for joining us for the first time ever. That's exciting.
It is. Welcome in. I hope you have an embroidery machine because you're going to like it around here. And then, of course, our number 2s. You guys have been with us long enough to understand the excitement that we have today. And I know you're eager to see a new design and maybe start a new project with your embroidery machine. So number 2, if you consider yourself a Hoop Sister or Hoop Mister, and you've been on these before and you're ready to get started today. Awesome. Okay. Fantastic. All right, you guys. Well, we have also, we're not the Hoop Sisters. Let's just start there too.
Sisters, but not the Hoop Sisters.
That's right.
That's right.
So we want to introduce you. Why don't you introduce them to the rest of the family and where it all began?
Yeah. So right in the middle right there, we have Linda on the left and Annie on the right. And they are the Hoop Sisters. They started Hoop Sisters back in 2008. And
17 years
since then. Aubrey and I got to join them, and we are Annie's daughter, and Annie is center right. You can see her right there. And like I said earlier, I do designing and digitizing, and Aubrey does everything else.
Well, I don't know about that. We have an awesome team of people that do a lot around here. So that's for sure. So this is the family part of the business. And we have someone else we'll introduce you to in just a moment. But let's also talk quickly about what is a Hoop Sisters workshop. I've seen a lot of number 1s dropping in there, a lot of new people. So we just want to take a minute and let you know what you are watching. So basically what you have tuned into is one of our workshops. We're doing 2 of these a month at this point. With some other fun things sprinkled in on top of them, but they're absolutely free to attend and watch and maybe learn something. And then we also like to showcase a brand new design. And Sarah's the designer on this project, so she's my co-host today. And then she's going to show you exactly how to stitch it, trim it, join it, all the things by the end of the 2 days. Yep. And then we also do like to include introductory pricing. We have a bundle bonus. We have all sorts of good things. So I highly encourage you to stick around. And if you're interested in purchasing the design and trying this yourself, the next two, today and tomorrow, are going to be the best time to do it. And we will get to all that coming up. But first and foremost, let's talk about registration.
So the registration gift was a cute little heart-shaped mug rug. Really, really simple to do. So if you're brand new to an embroidery machine, maybe you just got one, you've never used it before, perfect starter because it is so, so simple. But just a cute heart-shaped mug rug with, I just love the little daisy quilting in there.
It's really cute.
Super cute.
So we always encourage you to register for these workshops because you will get a free gift. In this case, heart coaster.
You know what else they get? Before we talk about this, can we talk about the workbook?
Yes.
So if you registered, and Aubrey's going to tell you where you got it because I assume your email, but I might tell you wrong. But in your email, you have a workbook. So you can use this workbook. You can print it out if you want, or you can just store it and save it digitally. That's fine too. But on page 1, it's just got some information about the workshop. Page 2 kind of has a workshop schedule. My personal favorite is page 3. That's the fill in the blank page. So we are going to cover all of those answers today and tomorrow. We'll give you all the answers. Some of you probably know some of the answers. And don't forget about the Heart Coaster Challenge. That's on page 4 of this. You can check that out. If you haven't done it already, all you have to do is if you registered, by the way, registration is closed.
Yep.
So if you were able to register and you got that free registration gift, just stitch it out. It's really quick, and post a picture of it in our Facebook VIP group for a chance to win $25 in store credit. We'll announce that winner tomorrow. So you still have a little bit of time.
Yes. And like Sarah mentioned, registration it closes at noon the day of the workshop. So registration is closed, but you still can get your hands on the workbook if you want that. And I've seen Nina has already dropped. By the way, we're streaming over to Facebook and we're streaming over to YouTube. So there's comments flying in from everywhere. But check the comments because Nina is dropping links so that you get all of the handy dandy information. So the workbook's going to be fun. We're going to talk more about that later in terms of the fill in the blanks. So stay tuned for that. Okay. Now, we're almost ready to show this thing. But before we do, we also want you to know that we have some amazing local quilt shops who have what we're about to show you. They already have it in stock. They're ready to go. They have the free gift. They have the bonus, and they can use those for make and take projects, whatever they want to use it for. So we've got Calico Cat Sewing Center in Lake Jackson, Texas. We have Sewing Concept Super Stitch too in Woodstock, Illinois. Twin Falls Sewing Center in Twin Falls, Idaho. Heavenly Stitches is new to us. They're right here in Lima, Ohio. Awesome shop there. Super Stitch in Northeast Pennsylvania. And then, of course, we have Yankee Quilter in Seymour, Connecticut, who has spent several months, Yankee Quilter, recovering from a terrible flood in their area. And she's getting ready to reopen.
That's so exciting.
At the end of the month. So very excited for her. So just know, if you have one of these shops close to where you are in your neck of the woods, we highly encourage you to shop locally, shop with them. They can help you with fabrics, all sorts of good things. If none of these places are anywhere near you, then stay tuned. We're going to talk about how you can order it direct from us as well. Okay. All right. So again, number 1, let's talk quickly about what we are going to cover today, Sarah.
So today specifically, we're going to talk about tools of the trade, specifically battleizer and water-soluble thread. Then we're going to go over to the machine and we are going to stitch a block out step by step. And you can kind of see on the bottom picture on the left, that's the block that we're going to stitch out. And then tomorrow we're going to trim the block. We're going to pin it and we're going to join them together. And we're also going to show you how to add the backing to your wall hanging.
Yes. And I will say I've seen a couple questions so far about registration gift access. I will tell you, I'm actually about to share Nina here on the screen. We actually have an amazing customer service person. She's your customer experience manager. She's in the comments as Hoop Sisters, I believe, right now. She's trying to answer questions on YouTube and on Facebook. So if you have any specific questions that you're working through, you can always reach out to her and she will give you a hand. I encourage you to wait till our live is over because she is in the comments right now, but she will answer the phone, help you out. You can also email her if you're just looking for the workbook or something and you're not seeing the link. She's super helpful and she can give you a hand as we kind of work through here today. Okay. Anything else that we should mention before we just reveal this thing already?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Is there something I was supposed
I
to
don't
remember?
think so. I just want to make sure.
Sometimes you ask me these trick questions and I forget.
No, that one wasn't a trick. I was honestly
Okay.
like, did we remember everything?
Okay.
I don't even know. Okay, let's show this gorgeous design, shall we?
Yes,
Let's show it on screen here first, and then we are going to hold it up for you. And I can't get enough of it. I think
so cute.
It is so cute.
I love it.
The colors,
the fabrics. Yep.
Yeah, and we're going to show you the quilting that's included.
Yep.
So yes, amazing. Why don't you describe this design that is yours?
Yeah. So Hugs and Kisses, obviously a Valentine Day design. It is perfect for Valentine's Day. It stitches out quick. So the heart of it really is the 3-block. That's the image that you can see on the right-hand side. We call these our 3-block wall hangings because of those 3 main blocks in the center. And then you get those included border files as well. Primarily done with stitch and flip. There's a little bit of embroidery in here or applique rather, in here as well. And it has the prettiest daisy quilting in there. It's kind of reminiscent of the daisy quilting from your free gift. So super cute. You also are getting the instructions and everything to make that what we're calling the tiny topper. So that's the image on the left. And it's so, so cute.
I love the tiny topper.
I know. It's just kind of a mini version, different style layout, super cute as well.
And I popped up this particular banner at the bottom because I feel like
it is.
We always say that once you get the technique down, it's all simple, right? Like we're going to show you how easy this is, but I just think the size of this project and just the quilting, I feel like this is a great, great beginner project.
It is. It absolutely is.
All right. Let's also, I think we should, before we stitch it out, I would love to show it over here as well.
Yes.
And maybe you can talk about it.
And I want to show this block too. So really cute daisy quilting. Now this has matching thread in there. I'm going to show you a block in a second that kind of has contrasting thread, but you can see this nicely. The daisy quilting in the background of the border blocks as well. And then your applique arrows. They're so cute.
Look how precious that is.
So cute.
If you're new, you put a number 1 in the comments. Then what you're going to love about this is the quilting is included, you guys. So you're not going to have to go find out how to get this long-armed or buy a separate quilting file. Everything you see here is included.
By the way, she just gave you the answer for fill in the blank number 1.
Oh.
All of Hoop Sisters designs include the quilting.
There you go.
So we're not just going to give you piecing and then say, go figure it out. You already have it figured out because it's all in there.
Yes.
I want to lay this down right here too because I stitched this yesterday with a little bit more of a contrasting thread.
Wow.
And the little daisy quilting is some of my favorite.
And
super cute,
love
super fun.
How this arrow is like visually, it's like piercing
right
the heart
through the center. Yeah.
I just think it's so precious. This is a really good look at the quilting that comes with this.
Yes.
Hello, quilting.
So cute.
So yeah, this is absolutely adorable. So again, here's the O on here. And I love even just this like little border block here is really cute too. And we can't forget the tiny toppers. Normally we do 3D, oh my gosh, 3-block wall hangings. And that's it. That's what comes in it. But this one, we decided to do a little table topper to pair with it. And it's just so fantastic because you can make the wall hanging, hang it on the wall, And then you can make the table toppers and put it on the table too.
And I want to say about this too, you could change this up. And someone said, by the way, you could use this as a placemat. It's a great size for a placemat. I think it's like 14 by 20 inches, if I remember from the last slide correctly.
There we go.
But great size for a placemat. And the instructions are going to tell you this layout for this, but these blocks are so versatile. You could change it up however you wanted. You could do the 2 X's, 1 O, 2 O's, 1, you could do whatever you wanted. You could add in that heart right there. So really fun, versatile design.
Yep. Okay. So I think at this point, what we're going to do is have Sarah start stitching. Are you guys ready to go over to the machine and see how super simple this really truly is and how it is absolutely perfect project for a beginner, or even just like a quick project for you number 2 pros who know what you're doing? This would be great for you guys too. Okay, Sarah, you're on camera.
Okay.
Do you want me to put your thing in there and mute my mic over here?
Yeah, let's. Okay, I think we should be good to go. Let us know in the comments if you can't hear me for any reason. But so I'm over here at my machine and I'm about to give you the answer to fill in the blank number 2. So the first thing, I don't know why I said it like I was a talk show host or like a
number 2.
Vanna, I don't know. So the first thing that we do is we hoop our battleizer, and battleizer is a batting and stabilizer combination. It is nice because it has a lot of movement to it, but it can still hold up to dense stitching. So I've got my battleizer, which is right here, hooped. And I did a couple steps to kind of get ahead before we start the live demonstration. So I did the first step, which was to sew the placement stitch onto the battleizer. The placement stitch is essentially just the outline of your block. So I outlined my block, and I did use a water-soluble thread to sew that placement stitch, which, by the way, that's answer number 3 for fill in the blank. So we use water-soluble thread to stitch placement stitches, tack downs, and basting stitches. And there's a lot of reasons why, but to me, the most important is because when you're joining your blocks together, if you use even a matching thread in your basting stitch, you join your blocks along that basting stitch. Say you don't catch it perfectly, it's okay with water-soluble thread. You can just dab it with a damp Q-tip and those stitches will just disappear, or you can just wash your finished wall hanging and your stitches are gone. So it helps your quilt look a lot more seamless using that water-soluble thread. Okay, so again, step 1 was to stitch the placement stitch, which is the outline of our block with a water-soluble thread. And then step 2 is an optional step. You can choose to use additional wool batting if you'd like. This essentially just gives you some extra dimension, especially behind that daisy quilting and this wall hanging. You don't have to though. So if you don't want to use that, just skip to step 3. And step 3 will sew the placement stitch either onto your battleizer or onto your wool if you're using wool. You would do each of these steps with that water-soluble thread. I do have red in here just so we can see it really nicely on camera. Okay. So for step 4, I'm going to take my 2 pieces of fabric that I cut according to my supply chart and my instructions, and I'm just going to align those in the appropriate placement stitches. So that's this side and then down here. And still with the water-soluble thread and the needle, we'll sew our tack down. Stop that, adjust my fabric a little. Okay, now I'm going to use my hoop scissors. And if you've never heard anyone say hoop scissors before, what the heck is that? So all that is a pair of scissors with a nice offset handle. This makes trimming your fabric in the hoop a lot easier. So we have our regular size hoop scissors, and you can also get the mini size. The mini is great for applique if you need to trim really close to tack down stitching. It's got a nice fine point and thin blades. But for this one, we're just going to trim a scant 1/4 inch from the tack down stitching on the inside of the block. So I'm just going to use my regular hoop scissors. And one of the things about these Hoop Sisters projects, I got to take my hoop off, get a better angle. But one of the great things about these is because everything is digitized, you don't have to trim it perfectly to a 1/4 inch, a scant 1/4 inch, or a 1/4 inch even. You don't have to line things up perfectly because your seams and your tack downs are going to stitch exactly where they need to every single time.
Wait, you don't have to be perfect?
You don't have to be perfect.
It does it for you?
It does. Isn't that great?
Isn't that? It is beautiful.
Great news.
Trying to be perfect. It never works out.
I know. Okay, just trim this last one. I'm going to put my hoop back on the machine. And by the way, when you're trimming in the hoop, leave your hoop on a nice, hard, flat surface. Go over to your cutting table if you need to. You don't want to place your hoop on your knees, on your lap to be trimming because it's going to shift. It's going to apply a little too much tension to the back of your hoop and very potentially shift your design, which puts that quilting off ever so slightly and makes you have to redo a block. So make sure you're trimming on a hard, flat surface. Okay, for our next step, I am on step 5 already, and I am going to take my background fabric, which is a triangle that I cross cut on the diagonal to get my triangle. So I just cut a 5.5 inch square and then cross cut it to get my triangle. Now we're going to do what's called flip. So how I like to do this, it's going to stitch down here. I'm going to kind of place it where it should go so I know what angle to put this at. And then I'll just flip my fabric, align it approximately with my pink fabric, those raw edges. Again, approximately. It doesn't have to be perfect. Your seam is going to stitch in the perfect spot. So right now my fabric is right side down, approximately aligned with my pink fabric, and I'm going to sew my seam with a neutral thread.
After you do that,
Yes,
can we
ma'am.
talk about why this is the way it is?
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do one more step and then I'll talk about that.
Yeah.
So hang in there with me for a second. Now we're going to take our fabric. We are going to flip it right side up. I'm going to finger press and smooth out my fabric. And then we're going to use that same neutral colored thread. So I have a red thread in my needle. I should have a white thread in my needle. And I'm going to sew the tack down. Joe over on YouTube says she's a new embroidery machine owner. She's too scared to even start. So this is so helpful. You should dive in, Joe. I really encourage you to do that because once you stitch a block, you're going to become addicted to this.
Yeah,
It's
warning
so fun.
label.
Yes. Okay, so why did I trim a scant 1/4 inch on what I'm calling the inside edges of my block? So anything on the inside of the square, right? It's not technically a square, but on the inside of my square-ish part. And I left that extra on the outside. The reason is because once I'm done with everything in the hoop, I want to make sure I have, let's say, at least a 1/2 inch of fabric on these outside edges. When I'm done in the hoop and my block is completely done, I'm going to take it over to my cutting table and I'm going to trim it using a trimmer by George. We're going to go over this more in depth tomorrow. So come back tomorrow if you're curious, because the trimmer by George is going to help me remove the bulk from my seam allowances. And then I want to keep this on the outside edge because when we join our blocks, we're going to join right along our basting stitch, which is essentially the edge of kind of this red thread right here. And we want to keep, after we trim it, we'll have a 1/4 inch in our seam allowance. So that's why I'm keeping this extra out here. Tomorrow we'll come back and we're going to trim this block. So you'll kind of see why you need that extra. You don't want to take your scissors and trim close or even trim a scant 1/4 inch along these outside edges. So hopefully that helps. Okay, so our next step is another stitch and flip. I'm going to see if I can move my camera a little bit.
Risky.
I know, but I think you can see it a little better.
Yeah, that's good.
Next step is a stitch and flip. So kind of the same thing. So we're going to lay our fabric right side down, approximately align the raw edges along the top. And then this one is going to sew our seam right up here. And again, still with the neutral thread. And now I'm going to take my fabric, flip it right side up, finger press and smooth out my fabric. And then I'm going to sew the tack down. So you want to make sure when you're doing this, by the way, that you probably have, you know, about a quarter inch, a scant quarter inch in, let me see if I can't take this off right now, darn it. But you want to make sure that you kind of have enough in here that when you're tacking down, what is on this side of your tack down has about a scant quarter inch of fabric. I think you'll see that better at the bottom part right here. So again, we have 2 more stitch and flips of this white fabric, and then we're going to show you a fun part to tack down that middle center. So my raw edges are approximately even, doesn't have to be perfect. My seam is sewn. And then we're going to flip our fabric right side up, finger press, smooth out, and sew our tack down. Okay, let's do this one more time. And when I say approximately even, you can even take that top piece, because say I'm using a red fabric under here and I have a white fabric on the top, and you can kind of overlap so that the white is hanging over your bottom fabric a little bit more. Otherwise, your red could show through a little bit, but overlapping really helps that. Okay, so we're on this last tack down step. We're going to flip this right side up, finger press and smooth out, and then we're going to sew our tack down. And you're going to see this, sew our tack down, and then it's going to come back and it's going to stitch up along the entirety of the block, right up to this corner up here. And I'll talk about why in a moment. Okay, I got a few threads I'm going to clean up, but why did it just stitch like that? So what it just did, and it tells you this in your instructions, was this just stitched a placement stitch for aligning your fabric in a future step, in step 14 specifically. So this is going to be really important in 2 steps, and you are about to find out why. Because we are on step 13, so I've got my last piece of pink fabric. I'm going to take that, place that right side down. So right side down, raw edges approximately even with my other fabrics. Center it on my block to make sure I've got enough in each of the corners. And then still with a neutral thread in your needle, we're going to sew the seam for this one. I almost said tack down, but that was wrong. Okay, let me pull this out of here. So again, this placement stitch that's stitched in step 12. This is really important right here, because now we need to take this fabric, flip it right side up. We're going to finger press and smooth out. But now we have this raw edge. This is so easy to do though. Do not let this hold you back for any reason, because it's so easy to do. All we're going to do is we're going to take this raw edge, fold it under, and kind of work with your fabric, play with it a little bit until you can get your fold to align with your placement stitch. So you'll kind of see me playing with it, working my way up. It can overlap that placement stitch a little bit. That's okay. You can see how I'm just kind of finger pressing it as I'm going. And now when I look under here, I do have a little more than 1/4 inch of fabric. I am not worried about that. I'm just going to leave it right there. It doesn't concern me at all. So I've got plenty of fabric under there, a little more than 1/4 inch, and you can leave it just like that. I'm going to change my thread for this one. And to tack this down, it's just going to be a straight line. You can use a neutral thread. So I just kind of mean a thread that matches your fabric right here, right? I'm using polyester embroidery thread. And you can use a neutral one, like I said, that matches your fabric. Or I can't talk and thread my machine at the same time. I don't know why I always try to do this. Or you can use a monopoly invisible thread. If you've never worked with it, you might want to slow your machine down when you're working with it. But it's invisible, so it blends right in. I used monopoly on the sample that we showed you earlier, so it blends right in. But now we're just going to use a matching thread so you can kind of see the difference. Honestly, I think the matching thread's going to look the same. I think it will blend right in, especially once we get our quilting on there. So now for this step, got to put my hoop back on my machine. I almost just hit start. And now we're going to sew our tack down. And as it's tacking down, you're going to see me kind of guiding my fabric a little bit. And I'm even going to slow my machine down a little bit because I know my hands will be in there. All right, so let's do this. I'm stopping because I see I need to fold up here a little bit more. And then we'll go again.
Trisha, she just never uses her needle threader.
I don't.
I think it's because she has young baby eyes. It'll work with whatever.
It works with water soluble thread. I just, sometimes it's easier just to thread it than fight with it, right? Okay. So now we have that tacked down. So we've got our really cute little X right there. And now our next step, we're going to place a water soluble thread in the needle. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my red thread back in. I want you guys to be able to see kind of where this tack down is. This is just going to tack down around. Now I feel pressure because I know that someone noticed I'm not using it.
She said, I sure don't have young baby eyes.
So this step we're going to pretend like I have that water soluble thread in my needle. And this is going to sew a tack down around the edges of the block to tack down where that white fabric is, because we just did those stitch and flips. And it will give us that nice basting stitch to work with when we're kind of pinning and joining our blocks later. Okay, so what do you guys think? Do you guys think that you could do all this piecing? How do you feel about it? Especially you number ones.
So far seem doable. Drop a number 6. I'm just making up numbers, by the way. Drop a number 6 in the comments if this seems doable so far.
I think any of you can do this. I always like to say, if you can thread your embroidery machine, whether you're using your automatic threader or not, you can do this.
Oh yeah, lots of 6s. You can totally do it.
Okay, so just 2 more steps left, and I might even let Aubrey take it away while this step stitches. This is going to sew some of the background quilting on our white fabric right now, and I'm just using a thread that matches our fabric.
I want them to see it get started before I take the...
Okay.
Is it like a white thread?
Yeah, it's a
white thread. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to use that for the daisy quilting on the pink, so they'll be able to see that a lot.
Okay. Okay, so it's hard to pick that up on camera. She's using a white thread, but here's something you can pick up on camera. I am super excited about this. So I cannot get enough of this fabric. I think this little combination is just so pretty. It's got like a beautiful teal print, a red that is called Country Confetti that has little polka dots. The pink, same thing with the little polka dots on there. In fact, I think I'm going to pull up my little camera over here and show you guys. So here's the fabric kit. And as always, there's a limited supply, okay? So just know that. And once they're gone, they're gone. So here's what you're going to get. In fact, I'm going to move this just a little bit. So when you get your kit, first of all, open it up and double check. You're going to want to remove it, measure the yardage, all that good stuff. It shows you the different materials included. But look how yummy these are.
I just have to say, I feel like I've said this a million times too in the office.
Yeah.
This is my favorite fabric, I think,
yeah.
ever. I love that fabric. It's beautiful.
Really, really pretty. And what I love about it, I love the teal, but it also has that red right in it, so it picks it up. So I feel like this is just an adorable kit. I'm assuming the background fabric is not included, Sarah?
The background fabric would be the white fabric.
Oh, I mean backing, sorry.
Correct. Backing fabric is not included in the kit.
Okay, so just know that the backing fabric is not included, but everything else is in there. And the kit price is $34.99. We're going to start kind of talking about how to order and that sort of stuff at this point. But this kit is on our website, While Supplies Last. And at this point, for everyone who said this seems doable, number 6, you might be wondering, how do I get it, right? So we're going to have Nina go ahead and drop the order link. So it'll take you right over, this link will take you right over to our website. The number 6 was if what Sarah showed you seemed doable, like you feel like you could do it, right? You feel confident that you could do what she's done so far. Excuse me. So we do have a create your own bundle. So this is the best time to order if you wanted to try it. And you can just hang out with us and just watch and learn over the course of the 2 days. But if you're like, ooh, I got to try this, now's the best time to order it because you will get 10% off when you create your own bundle. So to create your own bundle, you just go to the order link that Nina just dropped on our website and put 2 items in your cart. That will do a couple things. The first thing it's going to do is take 10% off, which is awesome. The second thing it's going to do is it's going to add a bonus, which we haven't talked about yet, to your cart. Okay. This is the Create Your Own Bundle promotion does expire Thursday, January 9th, which is tomorrow at midnight. When you go to that order link, there are going to be a few items that are not included in the Create Your Own Bundle. So some exclusions such as wool, the strip stick, which we're going to show tomorrow, and any threads. Okay, so like Vanish Light, Mono Poly, that's not included in the 10% off. All right. Okay.
Should we let them see this stitch for a second?
Sure. Let me put that back on.
So we're just, yep, we're sewing the very last step. You can use a thread that matches your fabric, but if you really want it to pop, use something a little different, maybe a contrasting, whatever you have and want to use. It's your quilt that you're making, but just really, really pretty daisy quilting.
I like the contrasting. Mm-hmm. I like that it just pops.
It does. And it looks great with the wool. So if you're someone who likes to use wool in designs, this is one that works really well with it.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, well, that continues to go. I want to get back over here to this bonus because where is that? Do we have that? Oh, you have it over there.
Yep.
Okay, the bonus is super cute. So the standard design that comes with this just has a normal straight edge border. But the bonus is really, really fun. The bonus is actually got a little bit of a wave to it. I'll have Sarah show you.
So you can kind of see it's got just a really gentle wave to it. If you decide to use these border blocks, I definitely recommend lining the project that you're doing. So you'd want to remove the battleizer right up to the basting stitch and add a lining to this one. but just a really gentle kind of wave to the border right there.
Mm-hmm. All right. So that is the bonus. Now the bonus, again, pops in your cart automatically for free when you create your own bundle. Okay. We did talk about the sizing on a previous slide right at the reveal, but I want to make sure because I saw a question. This design does require a minimum of a 7-inch sewing field. So make sure your machine has that, or this one's not going to be for you and you're going to have to come back a different time for some other project. Okay. But this border I think is just precious, and you can choose to use it throughout the entire quilt, or you can just use it with the tiny topper, but it's going to give you a lot of really fun options. Okie dokie. Do you want to see anything over there, or do you want me to keep going?
Sorry, that's up to you. I was kind of laughing because Pam over on YouTube's comment was funny to me. Yes, Pam, you can rewatch this later if you need to. I know you're in the hospital and they had the nerve to make you do a test.
How dare they?
I hope you're well, and yes, you can watch this later.
Yes. Okay. So, so what we want you to know is, again, this is the best time to get it if you're planning on getting it. The promotion does expire tomorrow at midnight, January 9th. But here's what happens to your cart if you order during the 10% off and you get the free bonus. The bonus would be normally about $15. We like to include a little bit of an extra for you if you do the create your own bundle. So it's going to take if you say you get the design, which we have on USB or as a digital download, it's going to be, if you did the USB or the download fabric kit and the border bonus pops in, and you weren't using any of the promos, it would be $94.99. Quilting included, all that good stuff. But if you do it during workshop, you're going to get the bonus free plus the 10% off, takes it down to just $71.99. Okay. So that is the best deal, best time to get it. It'll save you $23 when you do the create your own bundle. We also currently have, for the next today and tomorrow, we have free shipping if your order is over $129 within the contiguous US. Okay. So great time to stock up on Battleizer, or maybe you need one of the tools, something like that. Just know that that is there too. Okay. Okie dokie. We're going to keep rolling, moving right along. We have not even talked about all the tools yet. Today we used Battleizer and Sarah used the hoop scissors. Tomorrow, when we talk about how to join your blocks together, we're going to use the trimmer by George. And we'll show you that tomorrow. But heck, if you're placing an order today, I want to make sure that you know everything that you would like to get in your cart. So everything on the top part of the screen, you guys, is included in the 10% off create your own bundle. Okay. Everything on the bottom are products we use and recommend, but they're not our products. We do sell them on our website. They're not included in the create your own bundle, but they are fabulous, and we will mention them in our instructions. So that's what we got for you today. I saw a couple comments. How do we order? Here it is. Here it is. Okay, so you can get the complete set today. If you registered, you got your heart, right? And then the wall hanging and the tiny topper are included in the design. And then that curved edge, beautiful little bonus is something that pops in your cart for free when you do the create your own bundle. Okay. All right. Sarah, you want to show this over here?
Yeah, I'll show it. I see a couple comments. Just a reminder, there is that $129 threshold that you have to hit for free shipping. So that could be why it's not charging you. But if you have a specific question about your order, please reach out to Nina and she'll help you. She's not able to help you in the comments because she is answering so many people in these comments. I try to keep up with her when I'm not on the lives and I cannot do it.
My guess is she's also looking at the promos at the exact same time.
She's true. Yeah, she's making sure everything's all set. But yeah, let's show this block real quick.
Oh yeah, it is so cute. So this is what you made today.
Yes. So this is our finished block that we stitched out together today. It's a quick one to stitch and it is so fun. So stitch and flip and that beautiful included quilting. It's so fun. I love kind of the darker pink on that light pink. Looks great. So tomorrow, Aubrey had told you we're going to use the trimmer by George and show you how to remove the bulk from the seams, and we're going to trim up these edges and talk about joining your blocks together, and we're going to talk about backing. So tomorrow, if you are wondering about your fill in the blanks, number 4 and 5 we'll cover tomorrow.
Yep. Okay.
I see there was a question I starred, and I think I see it again. You want to drive that and I'll just talk?
Sure.
I'm slow. Tracy is asking, is digital or USB better for a beginner? Tracy, that really is up to you and kind of how you like to store things better. If you like to kind of catalog a USB and organize that yourself, then that's great. Or you can do digital. They both have the same exact files on them. If you do digital, then it's just really easy to log into your account on our website anytime and snag those files. And you just don't have to worry about storing your USB. Joe said, can you tell me a bit more about the battleizer and the trimmer? Good for more projects, I assume. Yeah, we've definitely heard that you can use them for many projects. Obviously, we use them for Hoop Sisters projects. But the battleizer is what you see kind of back here. That's what's hooped. So it's just one product that you have to hoop. It is a batting and stabilizer combination. It's got a lot of movement to it, but it still holds up nice to dense stitching like satin stitches and things like that. So that's great because instead of hooping a stabilizer and a batting, you're just hooping your battleizer. The trimmer by George Joe, we're going to demonstrate a little bit more tomorrow. But what that's great for is removing the bulk from your seams. What else we got? Any other questions?
Oh yeah, there's more, but I'm just trying to wrap my head around all of them. Excuse me. Okay. We already answered this one. You already answered this one. And then I also wanted to show this one.
So the curved edge border blocks just come in one size that work with this specific design.
So it'll go with the 7-inch.
Yep.
All right, let me see what other questions. Okay. Okay, you guys keep the questions coming. I'm just kind of taking a break here to make sure that I got them all. Also going to hide this comment. And we will, this is just day 1. So if you are new around here, or maybe I also saw a comment, Sarah, that said, this is a great tutorial even for number 2.
Yeah.
So somebody said that earlier. So here is what I want to know. What did you learn, or what was your biggest takeaway from day 1? Okay, day 1, let us know. And I would love to hear it because I'm thinking you probably have something that you've learned or you thought was cool that you can take away into day 2. And day 2, we're actually coming back tomorrow at the same time. We're going to talk trimming, pinning, joining. What else are you doing?
Adding backing.
We're adding the backing.
We're pretty much doing it all, aside from stitching a block out.
Yes. And then we're also going to announce the challenge winner. And what I mean by that is in this workbook, we challenged you to make the registration gift and post it in our VIP Facebook group. And several of you did that, which is fantastic. So we're going to announce the winner from that challenge tomorrow. Okay.
Kelvin said, I consider myself a 1.5. Hey, that's
1.5 is good. And Mary says it's a good refresher. Loved the notebook. I think you mean this workbook here. Fantastic.
The digital download does not come with the fabric kit. The fabric kit would be a separate purchase from the design itself.
But you could put the download in your cart and the fabric kit in your cart.
Yes. Can we scroll? I'm going to scroll up a little. Don't mind me while
There's a lot of comments flying in from 2 different places. So give us just a second. And Nina's contact information is at the bottom of the screen. So if we don't answer your question or we thought we answered it and you're like, that's not what I'm talking about, just get a hold of her when we're done on the live.
Terry over on YouTube said, I noticed this block has not been shown before. I think you're talking about the block I stitched today. How many others are different from the X's and O's and arrows? So let's show them. Can we show them the actual 3-block wall hanging?
Yep. You want me to drive and you point?
Sure. Yeah, let's switch sides.
Because I feel like that would be better.
So I think this will answer your question, Terry. So obviously your border blocks and then you have your X. This is what we stitched today. We stitched this block out today just in a different colorway, just using the pink fabric. You've got your heart, and then you've got your O. So here are your blocks. And then obviously in the tiny topper, it's just laid out a little differently, and then you'll get different fabric requirements, and our instructions will tell you exactly how many to stitch to get this layout right here. So hopefully that answers your question.
Okay. Okay.
I love this. This is a cute layout too.
It really is. Sorry, we are just taking a look over here at the confidence. Over here at the confidence, I was reading Peggy's comment. Her takeaway is she's more confident, and she really likes, I think she's talking about the bonus, the border bonus too. Barbara's takeaway was Battleizer. Didn't even know it existed. You're going to love it. Give it a try.
I was just talking with someone today. Hi, Deb, if you're watching.
And then we've got Tracy.
Well, hold on. Let me say this. I was talking to Deb today, and she said with Battleizer, she started with the 5-yard, and now she just buys the 15 because she knows she loves it.
Yeah. Especially when it's 10% off, you guys. Okay, cool. Maybe this is Debbie. You said Debbie. It's not as hard as I thought it would be. It really isn't. And it looks so amazing when you get it done. So that's awesome. Yeah, Gail, she says, using the wool with this design made the stitches look so defined. Yes. Yep. That's a great takeaway too. So lots of wonderful takeaways in here. In fact, I saw someone didn't receive the workbook. We'll have Nina drop the link right in the comments. So you can just click on that and you'll get your hands on the workbook. And we would love to know what you think of the workbook, because if you like it, we're going to keep doing it. If you could care less, then we'll just save ourselves a little bit of time, right? But she'll drop the link over on Facebook. Oh my gosh, Sarah, there's so many. I
just saw another comment too that said that they learned that they don't need to use all matching thread for that quilting.
Yes.
So the instructions for this one might tell you to use matching thread here. You do not have to match it. Just remember, this is your quilt that you're stitching out. You purchase the design from us, and then you can kind of change it up however you like best. So if you like a contrasting, you go ahead and use a contrasting.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So I am going to, if you see something, let me know, but I got to stop looking at the comments because I get very drawn in. Okay. So here is, again, just to recap super quick, that just now's a really great time to dive in. If you have at least a 7-inch sewing field on your machine, and whether you're new or you consider yourself a 1.5 or a 2 in terms of you consider yourself new here or you're part of the crew, either way, this is a great time to get started with this project. You're going to, for this time around, you could order the design, the fabric kit. You're going to get 10% off of the create your own bundles, the free shipping, and also promotions expire tomorrow. Okay. So
what was that magic word for the giveaway? I saw someone ask that.
Hugs.
Okay.
Hugs. Okay. So just know that now's the best time to get it. And we have a giveaway. Okay. So the keyword Sarah was just asking about, the word is hugs. I'm going to pop it back up on the screen. So if you have not yet typed the word hugs in the comments, that's all you have to do. And you're going to get entered into our handy dandy giveaway, which we are going to do right now. I see lots of comments happening
before we do it.
Yeah.
I keep interrupting.
We're not done because I have to I'm going to talk about Nina real quick too.
So someone said it would be a great thing to know, what can you make with the fabric kit?
Yeah.
So with the fabric kit, you can make both the tiny topper. So you're going to get fabric to make the tiny topper as pictured right here, and fabric to make the 3-block wall hanging. Ooh. So it's all in there. There's
everything you see on our sample.
Yep. There's enough for both of these. So
perfect.
1 tiny topper and 1 wall hanging. Just 1 fabric kit will make those.
Cool. Okay. And we have limited supply. Now we do have some fans who do like to get more than 1 fabric kit. So, okay. I'm going to take this down. We're going to share this screen, and the computer is going to pick a winner for the live giveaway for the keyword hugs. So again, last chance. There were more of you on here than this. Anybody else? Oh, there goes somebody else. Okay. All right. Drum roll. Do, 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 do. Who's it gonna be? Lisa
Linda Newspaper.
Oh my gosh. Now I can't even read the word Linda today. It's the lights hitting.
That's what it
The
is.
lights. Congratulations, Linda.
Yes.
Linda's watching over on YouTube. So Linda, here's what you are going to want to do. You're going to want to email her, and let her know that you are the winner of $50 in Hoop Sister store credit, which is fantastic. Amazing. Tomorrow, we're going to do another live giveaway keyword. Plus, we're going to do the challenge winner. So there's two giveaways. And I swear we have the best group of people. If you're watching on YouTube, you might want to consider even jumping into our VIP Facebook group, because all this goodness in the comments is happening over in that group too. And it's just nice to see you guys being so positive and cheering everybody on. Okay. So real quick, one more slide. This is it. We're wrapping things up. Okay. But we just wanted to remind you that if you have a specific question or a question about something in your cart or the workbook or anything like that, Nina is here to help you. I have a feeling she's going to be busy lady this afternoon.
I think so.
Because we had a lot of comments rolling in, which is fantastic. But if we didn't get to you, please reach out to her. You can call or email, and she is here until 5 p.m. on the East Coast, and she'll be back tomorrow too. So reach out to her for any help, and we will see you guys back here tomorrow.
That's right.
So Sarah can teach you even more. I love seeing the takeaways.
Yes.
So, okay. Well, we're going to drop this order link one more time. Happy shopping. We hope you find some things that you love over there. And we will see you back here tomorrow.
That's right.
Thanks, everybody.
See you then.